Fighters of the Primar Special Forces unit of the main intelligence directorate under the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine have targeted military facilities of the occupying Russian army in Crimea. Fighters of the unit used kamikaze drones to destroy the P-18 radar station and its power generator, a Zu-23-2 anti-aircraft gun, a Mi-8 helicopter, an Imbir radar station, 3 Podliat radar stations, a transport tug, a Nebo radar station and its power generator, and other military equipment. It should be noted that over the past 24 hours, the Ukrainian army also destroyed a Su-30 fighter jet of the occupying Russian army using a surface drone in the Black Sea. As a result of the attack on Russian Novorossiysk on the night of May 3, an enemy fighter Su-30 was shot down. According to Defense Express, Russian propagandists report this. It is reported that the plane was destroyed approximately 50 kilometers from the city with the help of an unmanned boat, which was armed with an anti-aircraft guided missile of the R-73 type. The enemy admitted the loss of his plane, and here first of all it is worth noting that this is the first combat episode in history when a fighter jet and a plane in general were destroyed with the help of a surface drone armed with anti-aircraft missiles, the publication added. At the same time, it is worth noting that the enemy recognized the loss of his plane, and here it is worth noting that this is the first combat episode in history, when the destroyer and the plane as a whole were destroyed using a surface-to-air drone armed with anti-aircraft missiles. We will remind you that actually a year ago, in May 2024, for the first time it became known that Ukrainian surface drones Magura V5 began to be armed with P-73 missiles. And at the end of last year, the GUR released a video, as with the help of the Magura V5, armed with P-73 missiles, a helicopter was also destroyed for the first time in history, namely the Mi-8 of the Russian occupation army. And despite the fact that we are talking about a marine drone, the very fact that the arsenal of the ZSU has a developed solution with air-to-air P-73 missiles that have been converted to anti-aircraft missiles deserves attention. Because we are talking about Erzats ZRK, which can be installed not only on a sea drone, but also on a ground platform. In particular, the decision to install the P-73 on the ground complex is not unique and is known since the time of Yugoslavia, where during the time of Slobodan Milosevic, the Praga series of anti-aircraft missiles were successively developed, one of which, RL-4, used the P-73, which was additionally equipped with an explosive block assembled from 6 57mm unguided rockets. Ukraine has launched British-made Storm Shadow missile and Neptune missile on Crimea Peninsula, Russian Defense Ministry reported on Saturday. In a press release on its Telegram channel, the Defense Ministry said that its air forces destroyed 8 Storm Shadow cruise missiles and 3 Ukraine-developed Neptune MD guided missiles over the Black Sea between Friday evening and early hours of Saturday. In addition, the ministry reported the destruction of Ukraine's 96 fixed-wing drones over Russian-annexed Crimea, 47 over Russia's Krasnodar territory, 9 over Rostov, 8 each over Bryansk and Kursk regions in southwest of Moscow. 2 Ukrainian UAVs were also downed over Russia's Belgorod region. In the early hours on Saturday, 14 Ukrainian naval drones were destroyed in the Black Sea, the ministry said, without revealing the total number of destroyed Ukrainian drones. Ukraine has stepped up attacks on its Russian-held territories and in Russian territory in the past months. Crimea, that Russia illegally annexed back in 2014, has been the focal point of Ukrainian attacks recently. In the latest of such attacks, Ukrainian Air Force struck Russia's Bucha airbase of Black Sea Fleet in Crimea on Friday. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky last month stated that Kiev would not recognize Russia's invasion of Crimea amid speculations that US proposed peace deal would obligate Ukraine to give up the peninsula. Ukrainian President Zelensky seeks to receive $30 billion in military aid from the United States in 2025 instead of the planned $15 billion following the signing of long-awaited minerals deal with Washington this week. The United States and Ukraine on Wednesday signed a deal that will give Washington access to the war-torn country's earth minerals and other natural resources. While responding to journalists' questions on Saturday, Zelensky suggested that thanks to the investment fund for the restoration of Ukraine, created within the framework of the agreement signed with the United States on mineral resources, the $15 billion from the United States planned for 2026 can be paid in 2025. The U.S. Congress, under Joe Biden's administration, agreed to provide military aid to Ukraine in the amount of $15 billion in 2025, and the same amount in 2026. President Zelensky wants Ukraine to receive the funds planned for next year this year. Zelensky specified that these $30 billion would be Washington's contribution to the Investment Recovery Fund, while Ukraine will gradually pay its share. Ukraine will start making its payments to the investment fund under the minerals deal no earlier than 2030. It should be noted that the U.S. State Department recently approved the potential sale of training and related equipment for the F-16 to Ukraine in the amount of $310 million.